as we are saying, that is the major singular sign that indicates that a believer is driving the wheel of Jezebalism, that a church is on the expressway of Jezebalism. When that individual or that church organization tend to undermine what is written in Genesis 3:16, Isaiah 3:12, uh, Ephesians chapter 5, within verse 20 down, undermine that which is written in 1 Corinthians 14, verse 33 to 37. Disregard what is written in Titus 2, from verse 3 downward. Oppose that which is written in 1 Timothy chapter 2, from verse 11 to 15. Then you know it's also disregarding what is written in Revelation 2, verse 20. Then you know that this individual or church organization is driving the wheel of Jezebelism. It is so convenient to drive that wheel because the wheel called Jezebelism is a wheel of church physical growth, not spiritual growth, physical growth. When a church organization fall prey to Jezebelism, it is easy for that church to experience massive growth. When a church do not preach against woman leadership over the gathering of the redeemed, when a church allow painting of their women, just like Jezebel did when he wants to appear in the window before Jehu, before she was dragged down to was pushed overboard, and the dog ate her dead bodies. You know, just as Jezebel was, any church that allows painting, ornamenting, women wearing trousers, wearing mini skirts, transparent tight clothing that makes them look seductive, failing to realize that just for a brother to look at a woman to lust after her, he has committed adultery in his heart. And as such, a church built on holiness, a church built on righteousness, is a church that will not encourage seduction. It's a church that will not encourage the sisters to drive on the bicycle of seduction, on the wheels of seduction. But contrariwise, the Jezebelic church encourage this. So when a church does all this, you know that it is easier for the church to have a populational outbreak within a short space of time. Any church that is operating in the will of holiness, righteousness, purity can only garner followership with time. But churches that are operating in Jezebelism, within a short frame of time, you will see a young minister of possibly under 30 or in his 30s. Before you know it, he has gathered crowd all over, you know, well known, popular. But look at the content of the crowd that he has gathered. There is hardly a soul there. All you see is crowd. No soul for the king of salvation. No salvation. No a soul that is saved amongst them. It's difficult to see. I will not appear judgmental, but it's difficult to see a soul that is saved among that crowd that this young man has gathered or young woman has gathered. So why is it so? It's because applying the will of Jezebelism in ministration permits a lot of turnouts. And that's why you see preachers a lot of preachers drive that wheel of Jezebelism. They are basically out of patience. Many of them knows the truth, but they are looking at how would they take care of some certain necessities, and how would they become famous, how would they take care of their belly, their look, their shelter, how will they drive good cars if they speak the truth, because the world is gone berserk. Everything is changing. And so they now preach a changed gospel. Jezebelism is a changed gospel. It's a gospel that does not remain in the truth of the word of God. In fact, it is a sign of another Jesus, as the Bible talked about in the book of Second Corinthians chapter 11. It talks about another Jesus, talked about another spirit, talked about another gospel. We shall continue from this time out subsequently. God bless you.